I think time, to me, is fairly subjective. I mean, I know there's an objective aspect to time in the sense that clocks and calendars measure time, and it's a common thing to all of us. And we can measure that by, rotations of the Earth around the Sun, and the movement in stars, and so on. So in that sense, it's objective. But we don't really think about time in that way in our lives so much. We really think about, oh my goodness, I'm almost out of time, or I'm in a hurry, or I've got to get this project finished by this time next year. And that's very much a subjective thing. I found as I get older, time seems to go a lot faster. One month now doesn't seem very long at all. It seems to fly by in no time. So I can imagine there might be a time in the future when I'm hopefully a few centuries old, if that becomes possible, that a decade may seem like a very small unit of time. We may be planning much longer in advance. We may have very long-term projects that take decades to develop. And so a decade, 50 years may seem like a fairly brief span of time. So in that sense, I think time is kind of subjective. It also depends on the speed at which we think. Now, if we start to upgrade our brains, if we start inserting machines in our brains and upgrading them, improving our working memory, merging with artificial intelligence, thinking 1,000 times faster, that again would completely change our perspective on time. And a lot of people do speculate that machine intelligences may think 1,000 or 1,000,000 times faster than us. Because instead of using biological neurons, which work in essentially milliseconds through bioelectrical pulses, they'll be using electrical systems that work up to 1,000,000 times faster. Well, how will time seem to them? In the few minutes of a conversation, a human conversation, to them that may be like centuries of subjective thinking time. So I think we'll have quite different perspectives on time when we're thinking faster and living a lot longer than we are today.